When we think about infinity, we imagine it like it's a place, like there's this endless stretch of space somewhere, an ocean of stars that goes on forever, or a void so huge you could fall through it for eternity and never hit the bottom. But here's the thing, that kind of infinity doesn't work. You can't have an infinite amount of stuff, not really. Because the moment you start talking about stuff, you're talking about space and time and measurement and boundaries. Stuff takes up room, and the moment something takes up room, it can't be infinite. So what if infinity isn't out there at all? What if the only thing that can be infinite is the one thing that isn't made of anything? People imagine the universe as this big physical thing that either loops forever or stretches out in all directions with no end. But that idea collapses as soon as you look at it closely. Because for matter to be infinite, you'd need infinite energy, infinite space, and infinite structure. But structure isn't infinite, space isn't infinite, time isn't infinite. They feel infinite only because we're tiny and they're big. But scale isn't infinity. Scale is just perspective. So the dream of an eternal ocean of matter disintegrates the moment you push on it. Physical infinity is impossible, but something else isn't. There's a secret baked into the universe that most people never notice. It's hiding in plain sight inside the observer effect. In the quantum world, it seems things don't settle into definite states until they're observed. Not because human eyes are magic, but because reality only crystallizes within consciousness. When you're not looking, the world isn't off or hidden. It's unrendered, uncollapsed, a cloud of possibility. Perhaps the universe paints itself into existence as you move through it, like a video game world loading the terrain just ahead of where the player walks. So maybe reality isn't pre-built, but generated by the act of witnessing. Which brings us to the real heart of the paradox. If the universe only appears through awareness, then awareness must come first. Now, let's switch gears. Try to measure consciousness. Seriously. Try to put a tape measure around awareness. Try to weigh a moment of experience. Try to locate the exact place where perception happens. You can't, because consciousness doesn't occupy space. It doesn't sit inside your skull or inside your body. It hosts your body. It hosts your thoughts. It hosts your entire perceived world like a screen hosts a movie. And this is where the penny drops. Consciousness doesn't begin anywhere. It doesn't end anywhere. It doesn't age. It doesn't decay. It doesn't take up room in the universe. It contains the universe. It's the context everything appears in, which means consciousness is the only thing that could ever be infinite, because it isn't a thing at all. Now, watch what happens when you put all of this together. If physical infinity is impossible, and if the world forms only through perception, then infinity must belong to the perceiver. Infinity isn't a place, it's a presence. It's the silent, boundless field in which every moment appears, plays out, and dissolves. Infinity isn't out there on the edge of the cosmos. Infinity is the witness behind your eyes, the part of you that has been the same since childhood, even though everything else has changed. the timeless eye that never moves, even as the world shifts around it. That presence doesn't stretch forward in time like an endless line. It just is, fully, completely, and always. Eternal not because it goes on forever, but because it's not in time to begin with. This is why the psychedelic experience feels like the veil being pulled off. It isn't showing you some alien hallucination. It's showing you reality before your filter compresses it. The shifting colours, the vibrating patterns, the morphing geometry. That's the raw data stream before consciousness shapes it into solid objects and stable forms. You're seeing the dance beneath the dance. You're seeing the fractal engine that builds the world in real time. Life is always doing this rippling, weaving, flowering explosion of pure creativity. But when you're sober, your brain freezes it just enough for you to function. When the filters drop, you witness the universe painting itself. You witness consciousness dreaming reality into form. You witness the infinite behaving like art. Because that's what it is, and that is what you are. So no, there isn't an eternal ocean of stuff stretching into forever. There can't be. But there can be an eternal consciousness generating reality as it moves through it. And that's exactly what's happening. Infinity isn't out in the stars, isn't beyond the galaxy. It isn't buried in some distant dimension. Infinity is the one who's listening right now. It's the silent witness behind your thoughts, the awareness animating your life, the presence that never leaves. You're not inside the universe is inside you. And that realization is the doorway to everything else. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep dreaming.